These zucchini noodles in a roasted red pepper sauce are absolutely delicious. They are low in carb, making them the perfect meal to eat for weight loss. Let's get started. You're going to start by cutting the ends off of 5 zucchini. Chopping the ends off are going to make these a lot easier when it comes time to make our zoodles. I don't know why I left this one over off to the side, but let me chop the ends off of this. Now I have a machine to make my zoodles. You can buy the zoodles already made. I like this machine because it's nice and easy. You're going to go down a couple of times and you want to keep scraping until you get to the core. Once you get to the core, which is that soft white part, you're going to change to the other side and you're going to keep going, making nice, long, thin strips. I do this until I'm down to the core again. And then once I get to the core, I'm just going to go to the opposite side. And essentially you want to do this on all 4 sides. Make sure you do this nice and slow because these blades are really sharp. Once you get down to that core, you're just going to go to the other side. You're going to keep making long strokes until you have reached the core. Now you can toss the core or you can chop it up and eat it for vegetables later. As you see, all my zucchini noodles are together in this container. You're going to continue with the rest of your zucchini. After you've done with your zucchini, let's get started on the roasted peppers. You're going to take 1 pepper and 1 tomato. I have just a little bit of chicken stock. We just want to make sure these are nice and wet. We're not using any oil in this recipe. After they are coated, you are going to put them in the oven on a high broil for about 15 to 20 minutes. You want to turn every couple minutes to make sure all the sides are nice and toasted. Now it's time to cut into our onion. This is a very easy way of peeling onions. I cut both ends off and then I just go in and I take that very first layer of onion off, and it makes it so easy to peel the onions. If you are not peeling your onions like this, go ahead, try it this way. It's just very easy. After I have peeled the first layer off of the onions, it's time to chop these. Now, we want these onions to be really nice and thin. We're not dicing them. We are slicing really thin slices of onion because we want these to basically kind of melt in the pan when we add it to our chicken. After you are done slicing your onions, now it's time to chop approximately 4 to 5 cloves of garlic. I love garlic, so I chop 4 cloves. It's up to you how many you want to chop, but make sure you have at least 4 to 5 cloves. It's time to slice our chicken thighs. You see the line on the thighs? When you are slicing these, you want to slice in the opposite direction of the lines. You don't want to go in the same direction of the lines. When you're slicing against the grain, as we like to call it, this is going to ensure that your chicken is nice and tender. I am using boneless, skinless chicken thighs. Feel free to use chicken breasts if you want to. Thighs, in my opinion, are just juicier. It's time to season these up. This is where we're going to add all the flavor to this meal. I'm using some salt. We're also going to go in with some black pepper. And then because this is my favorite seasoning, I have to go in with some garlic powder. You already know, even though we have fresh garlic, we are using garlic powder as well. We're going to go in with some onion powder. That's going to add a delicious flavor. We're going to go in with some lemon pepper. This is going to add a pop of flavor to the chicken. We're going to use some basil. This is dried basil and some dried oregano. Now we're just going to mix this all in. Make sure you massage the seasoning into the chicken. We want to make sure that all of those chicken pieces are coated with that delicious seasoning. And once everything is all mixed in, it's time to get this cooking. You know when you have properly seasoned your meat when you can smell it. And I smell it. It is time to get started. To a hot pot or wok, you are going to add 1/2 cup of that chicken stock. And then we're going to add our chicken pieces directly to that chicken stock. We are not using any oil in this recipe. We are going to cook the chicken in the chicken stock. It's important to have your chicken on medium to high heat. We want the juice or the stock to essentially be boiling. And there's going to be enough juice in the chicken to keep everything nice and juicy. And trust me, you will not need any oil. Your chicken should not be sticking to the surface. Once your chicken is about halfway done and you can tell some of the pieces will still be pink, it's time to add our onions and it's time to add the garlic. And you're going to continue to cook this on a medium to high heat until the chicken is completely done. You're going to have to stir every 2 to 3 minutes to make sure nothing is sticking and to check the temperature of the chicken. While this chicken is cooking, let's get started on the rest of the dish. Now, we have our zucchini noodles. I am going to season these noodles with a generous amount of salt. The salt is not only going to season the noodles, but it's going to bring a lot of the water out of the noodles. We do not want our zucchini noodles to be loaded with water because it will make our sauce too thin and watery, and we don't want that. So you're going to mix all the salt into the zucchini noodles, and we're going to set these aside while we wait for the water to come out of the noodles. Trust me, you'll see what I'm talking about. Let's get started on this sauce. This is how your tomato and your pepper should look after you've taken them out the broiler. I'm just going to slice this open right now, and we're just going to take the seeds directly out of our pepper. You don't want any seeds in this pepper, okay? No seeds in the sauce. After you have removed the seeds, we're going to slice this pepper in pretty big slices because this is going to go in the blender with the tomato. So I am just cutting these in really big chunks. And then after this is all sliced up, I'm going to take the tomato, which is nicely charred as well. And then I'm going to chop this in big chunks. You don't have to dice it because this is going to go in the blender. You just want the pieces small enough that they won't get stuck in the blender or food processor, whichever one you use. I suggest using a blender. We're going to season this up with a little salt and a little black pepper. And you're going to take this with the remaining part of the chicken stock and you're going to blend this into a nice sauce. I totally forgot to record this part of the video. That's my bag. Now, our chicken should be nice and done. And as you can see, some of the sauce is still in there. So we have sauce already with the chicken. We're going to take that roasted pepper sauce that you did not see me make, but you're going to make it, and we're going to pour this into our chicken. So this is about 1.5 cups of the chicken stock with the roasted pepper and the roasted tomato. And now we have mixed it with the chicken that has been cooking in 1/2 cup of chicken stock. We want to bring this to a boil, but before we do this, we're going to adjust the seasoning. I'm just seasoning this with some additional basil and also some additional oregano. These were the seasonings that we use in our chicken. We are mimicking flavors. So you want to stir this until everything is all combined, and then ideally you want to bring this to a boil. This is going to give all those seasonings and flavors a chance to just kind of get along and, combine with each other. Once this has come to a boil, it's time to add our zucchini noodles. As you can see, I am shaking that excess water off of the noodles because we don't want our sauce too watery. These noodles are not going to take long at all to cook. So we're going to add these for the final 5 to 8 minutes of cooking. But do you see that excess water? That's exactly what we wanted. And that water is not in our sauce. All you have to do now is you're going to stir your noodles into this sauce. Now, I stay right here at the pot for this part because you constantly want to incorporate the noodles into the sauce. You don't want your noodles to overcook, but you don't want them too crunchy either. This part takes about 5 to 7 minutes. Make sure you're testing your noodles to see if they have reached your desired tenderness. Once they have reached the desired tenderness, it is time to remove them from the heat, and the only thing left to do is to plate this meal up. Let's get it going. Look at this. You cannot tell me that that doesn't look delicious. It smells absolutely delicious in this kitchen. Because these are low carb, this is nothing but vegetables, I am going to load this bowl up. My noodles have reached the perfect tenderness. My sauce is the perfect consistency. My chicken is nice and tender. The aroma smells absolutely delicious. I cannot wait to eat this up. I have all my noodles in the bowl. Now I'm just going to top it off with some additional sauce. I want to make sure that I get enough sauce to cover the noodles, and I'm going to get some additional chicken. This is a perfect low carb, high protein dish for you to eat during the week, especially if you want to lose weight. The only thing left to do is bon appetit. Let's eat.